Okay, let's go to the next agenda item here on the board. Scanner wasn't that crazy yesterday. Just your usual snow emergencies. You know, buses get stuck, buses slide. I mean, it's the same thing we hear every time there is some snow and ice out there. Apparently, Max is running fine. That always runs fine unless there's ice. That's what screws up the Max. The snow, no problem. Ice, that's a whole nother deal. So we're on to the next item here.
-12-51, and that resolution approves the updated agency safety plan.
All right.
Peppermint schnapps.
What?
Peppermint schnapps.
All right. So what do we got here with this? Pursuant to 49 CFR Part 673, a recipient of FDA funds must develop a public transportation agency safety plan that includes processes and procedures needed to implement its safety management systems and must update it annually. The FDA requires the board of each transit system must take action and each agency's accountable executive. This is some garbage. Must contain safety objectives, confidential employee reporting program, organizational safety, giant bureaucracy here, safety risk management process, safety assurance process, safety promotion program. Well, sounds like a bunch of baloney to me. Let's see what they say.
And for those of you new to the board, this is a process that the board approves every year. So it has to be updated every year. And Mr. General Manager?
Thanks, President Simmons, members of the board. The Federal Transportation Administration requires transit agencies to develop a public transportation agency safety plan and keep it up to date year after year. The FTA also requires that the updated agency safety plan be reviewed by executive leadership and approved by the board.
Executive leadership.
Trimet has completed our annual review and update and now brings this plan before the board for your approval. You've received a copy of the full plan in your board packet, and it's also online. I would like to just bring John Gilmore in. He's our interim director of system safety, just to provide just a little bit more additional background and overview. John?
Good morning, President Simmons and members of the board. Again, thanks for that introduction. We did, as an agency, approve this document last December. It is our commitment to safety. It guides our implementation strategies for improving our safety across the agency. You go to the second slide. So as a quick highlight, there are a few members of the board that probably aren't familiar with the agency safety plan. So I just wanted to give some really high-level pieces here. We do require the general manager, the accountable executive, to sign this each year to include and be approved by the board of directors, and that's per regulation. It's also a document that's required by regulation for any agency that receives federal funding. So it's something that not only is a regulatory item, but it really helps guide where we're taking this agency in valuable tools and improving the safety. If you go to the next slide.
Yeah, sure. Sure you are. Sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Little history for you. In 2018, the rule was established, and we started building out our agency safety plan. In 2020, we did get that approved. The state safety oversight has just recently changed their program standard. So this year, we're asking you to approve this agency safety plan in December. However, in our next annual update, that's actually going to come in 6 months in July. So the state's giving us a 6-month time frame to relook at this agency safety plan, address any gaps that there may be in the new program standard, and bring this back to the agency and the board. So you'll see this again in 6 months.
What is the safety plan? What the hell is it?
It is something that we're building a lot of tools on.
A lot of tools.
And it will take us into the future.
Into the future.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. The activities described in this plan are integrated into our day-to-day operations and budgetary decisions. Your approval of the resolution is recommended.
What is it? So that's it. That's the entire presentation. What is the safety plan? What? Gosh, it's like nothing. Here, just to prove this. Whatever, man. What a joke.
So for a point of process for the board, getting us back onto the way I've structured the meeting, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve and a motion to second.
See, she doesn't want any discussion on anything, this woman. This is bad. This is very bad. I was hoping she would be a little bit better than Warner, but she's actually worse than Warner, it looks like, because she doesn't want anybody to discuss anything. She's just pushing it right through.
And then if you have comments, there will be an opportunity for you to provide comments.
Don't you think it should be the other way around? The board members should get to ask the questions before a motion and a second.
So is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Was that Director Gonzalez?
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, this is Lori Bowman.
Thank you, Director Baumann. So it's been moved and seconded. Are there any comments before we vote? And I can't see you, so if you have a comment, just shout it out. Hearing none, I'm going to then call for the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed?
Well, that's a complete waste of time, wasn't it? Let me look at this again. Safety plan. Yeah, it's just a bunch of bureaucracy, man. It doesn't. Look at this. Just look at this. Before submitting the agency plan to the board, Trimet circulated to the general manager, the chief safety officer, and other executive directors. I wonder how many there are. It has been reviewed and endorsed by the general manager, Sam Dessou, interim chief, Roland Hoskins, chief executive officer, Mala Blagg, executive director for transportation, Rochelle Gresser, executive director of maintenance, Roland Hoskins, and director for engineering. As required, the Trimet's plan also contains confidential employee reporting program to help identify. Oh, well, I gotta cut this up right here.